Welcome to another episode of Rectec Reels. I'm Rob Green, founder and CEO here at Rectec, and I'm delighted to have with me today a superb guest and, quite frankly, one of the most incredible characters I've ever met, Stan Wasowicz, who's talking to us about the dizzy heights of AI in talent acquisition. Stan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Rob. I'm super honored to be on what I just learned is your first Rectec reel on yourself. I've been in this space for over a decade and a half. I worked on the technology and services side of things. So I've seen a lot of things happen, never as disruptive as the new chapter, new dawn of a new era, as we're calling, as we're entering now. I'm currently involved at the forefront of technology as a VP of Growth and Partnerships at Scotty AI, one of the companies driving this change.
Thank you, Stan. Marvelous introduction. And honestly, what you're doing in this space is revolutionary. Now let's get into it. My first question for you today: AI in TA is a subject that's been absolutely booming over the course of 2023. And as an expert in this space, just talk to us about the current state of things. How far have we come, and where is this going?
Yeah, so AI has clearly landed, right? I've been talking about this for a couple of years already, but ChatGPT really was the inflection point for people's imaginations to accept that change is happening. No one argues anymore with the change, massive change coming or not. Everyone kind of agrees it's rather when than if, right? But if we're looking at the current state, a lot of people are still building solutions for what I call the status quo. They're still building solutions, assuming that recruiters will play a big part and optimizing for recruiters. And I think that's a miss. I think we should be optimizing for candidate experience and employer experience, hiring team experience. So hiring managers especially, right? And cut out that middleman, because I think that's possible. I think that the technology that we have in place today is what electricity was to lamplighters, or a bit less back in the past, what the internet was to travel agents. I really think that we can usher in a new era where we create a much more consistent, predictable, better, a more effective candidate experience, hiring team experience, matching people to jobs at scale by using technology rather than far less capable humans.
Incredible. That is truly next level stuff. I'm assuming you're probably going to face some skepticism along the way, but in your role dealing with all manner of AI partnerships, are there any particular trends that are forming in the industry, Stan?
Yeah, absolutely. So I expected more pushback. I expected more skepticism. Interestingly enough, needless to say, all shareholders, board level, MD, C-level conversations that I'm having, these people are welcoming this change, right? Because ultimately, these are business owners, and they see an opportunity where they can cut their human labor cost in the next 2 to 3 years by 80 to 90%, while being able to service more customers, right? At a better quality, right? At a higher productivity ratio and a better. So they actually they embrace it a lot. I'm having a lot of very positive conversations there. But even like interim recruiters and in-house folks are looking at their job and their colleagues, and they're like, holy moly, I clearly see something that can replace what I'm doing. They're coming to me, hey, how can we work together? How do I ride this AI wave, right? And I thought with less, but I also appreciate that these are the early adopters, and there is an early majority and a large majority that has a lot of this, almost ostrich-like behavior, head in the sand, don't want to look at it, it's coming. But Craig Payne said it incredibly eloquently, you either make change happen or change will happen to you. And that's what I'm trying to I'm looking for the change makers, man, to go on this ride together with them.
Love that, and super insightful. Jumping into my final question for you today, what are your predictions for AI in talent acquisition in 2024?
Yeah, so I'll tap into the skepticism remark that you mentioned there. 2024 will be all about awareness, generating awareness. That's my main focus for this business, but I know that any other company that's doing anything in AI right now, their mission needs to be showing people how good the solution actually is, how far technology has actually come. People don't realize that ChatGPT 4 landed in March this year, and the ChatGPT 3.5 was like a, you know, a middle schooler compared to Hemingway, right? Or the chatbots in the market. Sorry, but those guys are dead in the water, especially the ones with massive overhead. Because they need to completely rebuild their solutions. Those are like toddlers compared to what's happening in the large language model space and the Gen AI space, right? And people are still comparing these systems. So next year, all about awareness. I know that a good amount of early adopters will take this technology, embrace it, and land beautiful case studies. And my prediction is that we will see a lot of those folks on stage at the events, in the webinars, in the podcasts, in the blogs. I'm going to be a huge driver of that myself to put these folks in the spotlight. And then, I think we'll set the industry up for massive change, for massive scale in 2025. Because once people see this stuff from their peers, the business owners see the bottom lines, the candidates experience the much better, matches, the employers see the much better ability to meet their business outcomes by being able to hire on time and the budget more easily. That's when we'll see a ChatGPT like inflection point in TA. And normally we take 10 to 5 years to catch up, right, to the business consumer space. I predict it's going to be far, far more quick right now, because outside of TA, everything that we're interacting with is also betting highly and developing highly on AI. So if you have all these AI agents around you, you're working with them on a daily basis, you will want to do it in the space you're working on a daily basis as well.
It is certainly an incredible and exciting time in the industry. And, like you, I'm right in the thick of this. So I'm really keen to, see how things unfold over the course of 2024. I hope our viewers have found this insightful, but we've come to the end of the show. So don't forget, if you're in the market for new tech, then be sure to register for Rectec Compare today for free and check out our unique technology marketplace at rectec.io. Stan, thank you so much for joining me and being such a wonderful guest.
Massive pleasure. Thank you for having me.